Welcome to Curtis Goes Corner, coming to you from a secret underground base in occupied America. Hi, all you thought criminals. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. From timcast.com. Documents seized by FBI in Trump raid had info on Russiagate, former aide says. This information has to come out to the American public, said Kash Patel. Now there's Kash there. He is no conspiracy theory nut. He is no, I don't care, I love Donald Trump no matter what kind of guy, even though he's a big supporter of the president. Kash Patel is a sharp guy. Been around a long time, done a lot of things. High security, intelligence. He's very knowledgeable. And he's very eloquent in how he breaks down things to explain in English for the layman to understand. On August 8th, FBI agents removed 11 sets of documents in a raid of former President Donald Trump's home in Palm Beach, Florida. Since then, speculation swirled concerning the contents of these records and whether they contain classified information. Before we get into that, a little bit of business. A lot of people have been messaging me saying they've been unsubscribed, so check your subscriber status. And if you think my videos are worth watching, please hit that subscribe button. A former national security official has offered a glimpse into the material seized by federal agents. It had to do with Russiagate, which we all know is a hoax. Anybody that's a progressive that you know and they hate Donald Trump, that's their business. But if they still really, honestly, and truly believe that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians to win the 2016 election, is nuts, and avoid them as much as you can. It had to do with Russiagate. It had to do with a Hillary email scandal, Kash Patel, former White House aide, and former U.S. Department of Defense Chief of Staff, told the Wall Street Journal. Patel said the information has to get out to the American public. But federal officials have made the issue about protecting materials of national security. National security or covering your own ass security. Or covering the Democrats' ass security. 3 days after the FBI search was conducted, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland delivered public remarks saying the Department of Justice was open to the public release of the search warrant used to conduct the raid. He also said it was standard practice to narrowly scope any search. Well, that was a lie. There's no narrowly scope. Conducted under these extraordinary circumstances. And he went on to say that Trump's raid was a narrow scope and blah, blah, blah. We know now, having reviewed the Trump raid warrant, that Garland personally authorized that. Garland lied. Yep. Under Attachment B of the FBI raid document, Garland demanded the seizure of literally any record Trump ever saw, read, or created over the entire 4-year term of his presidency. Any government and or presidential records created between January 20th, the date he was sworn in, and January 20th, 2021, his last day as president. Doesn't sound very narrow to me, does it? People suck so bad. However, Attachment B of the warrant called for federal agents to confiscate any government and or presidential records created between January 2017 and January 2021 without specifying a classification status for these documents. It means non-classified material. Everything. A note, please pick up bread and milk from the store, This gave the FBI license to take any records originated during the entirety of the Trump presidency, even non-classified or declassified documents, which they don't have the right to take. Period. And here is the receipt for property. Now, I'm going to go through this. I'll go through it quickly, and you can stop the video on a larger screen if you want to see it. Here we go here. I'll just slowly go through this. There's the cover sheet. And you can stop if anybody wants to read it. I'm not a legal eagle. but some of you might be. So take a look at your leisure there. Like I said, I'll just go through this. Receipt for property. Federal agents said the boxes they removed contain classified material, but according to Patel, this is all declassified. There has been debate from the current and former officials over whether the material seized from Mar-a-Lago was classified, given there is currently no documented evidence of the president's declassification action, the Wall Street Journal reports. Some legal experts agree that the president's declassification process must follow certain established procedures required by other federal workers and agencies. That's incorrect. But others state that the presidency has plenary declassification authority, meaning the president can declassify any document at any time via any means. Yes, for federal workers and agencies, they do not have the authority of the president. And I've got into it with a local website here in upstate New York. But I used to be involved in politics years ago when I was a councilman in the early 2000s. That's a progressive nut bar that keeps saying that these rules apply to the president. They don't. Meaning the president can declassify any document at any time. Now, here's a quick blip from Jack Posobiec, who was on the Timcast show.
From a basic overall standpoint, that doesn't apply to the executive. That doesn't apply to the commander-in-chief. So Trump, and we were talking about this before we came on air, but Trump, when he was the president, Joe Biden currently, Barack Obama when he was president, for all presidents, right, they have plenary declassification authority. The same way that he has plenary pardon power, which I actually tweeted this morning that, the people who said that Trump should have pardoned, don't pardon Assange, don't pardon Snowden, don't pardon Ulbricht. Why? Because then you might have trouble with the DOJ. Yeah, that look how that worked out, right? So, but by the same token, he can declassify whatever he wants, whenever he wants, because he is the authority. Right? There's no authority over him for that.
And that pretty much sums it up. Now, they say, well, Trump didn't say he declassified them until after he was president, so it doesn't count. These guys are morons. You don't need any paperwork. That's the power of the presidency. Now, you want to put an amendment in the Constitution or pass a federal law, this also applies to the president as well, feel free. But both sides won't do it because someday their side is going to be in the Oval Office. The argument for plenary declassification was upheld by the Supreme Court in its 1988 decision in the Department of the Navy versus Egan, when the court said the president's authority to classify and control access, in fact, let me highlight that, controlled access to information bearing on national security flows primarily from his constitutional investment of power in the president and exists quite apart from any explicit congressional grant, i.e. a law. Saying that the president above the law? No. He is the law in this case. He gets to decide at a whim what's declassified and what's not. If he sits there and talks to somebody who doesn't have the authority to listen to classified material, if he sits there and reads a letter to them that's classified, he just not broke the law. He just declassified it by telling another person. It's really that simple. And don't let anybody tell you different. Patel accused the Justice Department of conducting the raid to prevent the release of information Trump declassified related to the DOJ investigation of whether Trump had ties to Russia. And there you have it. The crappy FISA warrant. You might get some information of who lied and what they said when they lied. The investigation carried out by Robert Mueller found no evidence of collusion or collaboration by the Trump team with Russians. And there it is. It's simple. Supreme Court decision, well, at least in my lifetime, 1988. The facts are crystal clear. Even if there were classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, the president has the authority to have them. Period. And then there's the other question. Think about this, all you I hate Trump's guts, he's a traitor people. When the FBI was there in June of this year, and the raid was in August, and they were going through all the boxes, if there was something so top secret that the Republic would fall, if that information went out, why didn't the FBI take it with them in June? They just asked to put a padlock on the door. Trump said, okay. He went down there and said hello to the FBI agents when they're going through the boxes. I think what happened was they were going through some things, and then when they got back to their Southern District of Florida field office, told some of their superiors or higher-ups what they saw, and they went, oh, crap. We got to get those. We can't be exposed to what we did in Russiagate and other stuff we did to Trump that was unlawful and illegal. We have to get it all. So they got the warrant issued. They probably lied on the affidavit, which we'll see eventually, maybe years from now, unfortunately, just to cover their own asses. Just like those of you that are old enough to remember Watergate. It wasn't the break-in of the 4 burglars at Democratic National Headquarters in Washington, D.C. that got the whole Watergate scandal exposed. It was the cover-up that got them caught. A simple burglary in Watergate Hotel, they all could have pleaded guilty or no contest, and that would have been the end of it. But the Republicans had a much bigger apparatus in the country where they call rat effing against their Democratic opponents. And there was a huge amounts of money, people. It was just a whole rat's nest of stuff. And that's what they try to cover up, and that's why they got caught. And I hope the same thing happens here. But all you Trump haters just won't listen, and that's just the way it is. So I know you can't pick your relatives, but you can certainly pick your friends. So if anybody that's just delusional and has serious Trump derangement syndrome, just avoid them the best you can. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.